If you're looking for a camera-specific outdoor pack in the 15-liter size, so day hiker, just, you know, big enough to carry the stuff for that day outing, and places to put your other camera equipment, I think I found it. This is from LOWEPRO. This is the PhotoSport from LOWEPRO, and I've done a few things. Actually, I haven't reviewed any of their stuff, but I have used LOWEPRO camera slings for a couple years for full-size cameras. Now, because I don't carry full-size cameras a lot, I normally just use a regular backpack and throw my action cameras and that kind of stuff in there. Blah, spiderweb. But anyway, LOWEPRO reached out to me and said, hey, would you want to take a look at this backpack? I said, sure, mostly because of its outdoor features. It's got room for trekking poles and other areas to hang stuff. And so I said, sure. So here we are. We're in the outdoors, testing it out. We're gonna show you some other great accessories, not from LOWEPRO, that you could add to this to carry, you know, whatever camera you happen to be carrying into the wilderness. But this one has a great spot to secure that camera and protect it from the elements on a morning like today if it starts to rain. So let's get to it. The LOWEPRO PhotoSport 15-liter. One thing to note is once you get this thing dialed in and you're on, all kitted up, it's fantastic. Comfortable, everything's accessible, and it's very useful. However, getting it on and off with everything attached can be a little problematic. Case in point, if you had a camera attached here, accessing a panel back here, which we'll get to, it's a little problematic. So just think about that, how much stuff you're putting on here. And of course I have some accessories. I have a Peak Design attachment system on this side, and I have a Telesin little get up over here to attach an action camera. So this kind of makes this go about town, do anything sort of rig, because I just have all this stuff. Now you don't need this Telesin attachment, so we'll take that off. Big thanks to Miranda outside for pointing this out in one of her videos. Super nice, super cool. And of course this is the Peak Design. Use this for different cameras. I've just got my, it's a compact size camera, but it is a Fujifilm. This is not the newest 6. This is a T, X100T, which I just picked up from Adam. Thanks, Adam. And it's just working out fantastic to kind of get into photography. So that's kind of prompted this whole exploration into camera specific bags. That's why I haven't done these really in the past. That's why I have a Nomadic Peter McKinnon over there. That's why I have the sling as well as the backpack and some other things. So, but because I had this and I wanted something light, lean, just for this camera, protected in the weather, here we are, PhotoSport from LOWEPRO. So we'll set the cameras aside, put them inside here later, just so we can kind of see how this thing looks. Now, I'll just get out of the way now. The one thing I really don't like is this thing has a hip belt, which is non-removable. So it's just, you know, it's sewn in there. And of course you could remove it once, but then it's not ever going back on there. So now it's nice, it's weight bearing. I mean, it's wider. It's wider, which is cool because the camera cube that's actually inside you can take out, and you can actually mount it to one side on the hip belt, and on the other side is you know, a pocket, which with some dimension to it. So perfect spot for some extra batteries for whatever camera you have that you're using the day. Strap keepers everywhere, and since we're here, back panel's got these nice little padded, breathable areas, the active zone, and it's designed for a bladder. So you have little drain holes, which is a really nice plus in case your bladder starts to leak. And it has, if I can find the zippers, here, on one side. It has a nice little area for you to insert your bladder, hang it, and run the hose and route it out on your shoulder straps with some loops. So super nice and cool. I guess if you're traveling, you could maybe put a tablet. A mini would fit in here for sure, but it's designed for a bladder. Now, the rest of the straps, so let's wrap that whole sequence up, is very nice padded. Again, areas to route those hoses through, other areas to hang some additional equipment. More about that later on. A nice sternum strap included, and again, strap keepers everywhere. Just make this thing super cool. Nice handle. Now, what makes this, I would say, more adventurous than most of the other backpacks from LOWEPRO is the fact that it includes the ability to take trekking poles. You could put an ice axe in there if that was your mode, but it just, you know, these are the larger telescoping size and they fit in there just nicely. So it works. Now, aside that, they've got a water bottle pocket on one side, and I just have some stuff in there. The 18-ounce Yeti fits perfectly, works out beautifully. And then these orange straps actually contain the front area. It's kind of a top loading with a side entry. We'll get to that here in a second. But again, those are not, they're sort of compression. I guess you could help compress the bag. You could secure a taller item in the back. Not really big enough at all in this 15-liter size for the Peak design. It's not going to fit in there, but you'd have to go a different route. Now, on the go, 3 areas for on the go easy access. One, top pocket. I mean, I'm probably not even gonna look at your bag if you send it to me without a top pocket. But anyway, this one has perfect place for some sunglasses right in the top, maybe a snack for the trail. You know, don't go hangry. AirPods, that kind of thing, would go into the top pocket. We'll talk about the side. The front area, and we'll dive that in a second. This is sort of part of the main event, and we'll dive into this more later, but this is entrance to the camera cube. And we're gonna do a whole section on just that. But for now, just jam the camera in there and close this sucker up. And that is what makes this thing so awesome, is that little pocket. And you know, there's other bags that do this, but this one is in a smaller, compact 15-liter, go outside, do anything design. Now the front area and the top are accessible from these buckles, which open up this top lid, no pocket on the inside of that. Nice little, you know, grab the 2 orange tabs and it opens up. Quick and easy on the go. Now this is kind of designed to be 2 areas, you know, upper and a lower. We'll dive into the lower section in a second, and honestly, we'll dive into the top here in a second. This area here, it's got a nice little piece of plastic designed to kind of help you open this sucker up. You can, of course, unbuckle it if you really wanted to get full access to that area. And inside of there, I just have a packable jacket. This is from Sealy, from Huckberry. There's a nice little stretchiness in there. You could put, you know, whatever you wanted. There's a nice little mesh on the sides. So if you put something wet, it's going to drain. I think it's a perfect place for a packable jacket, quick and easy on the go, in case the rain kind of hits you. And it fits in there just nicely. So we'll snap these bad johnnies back up. And again, you could use these as compression of some sort. I just like the nice touch of yellowish orange. But nice little area up there, which is just super cool. I like that. Now, one thing again, before I really talk about the inside of the bag, I'm really kind of getting ahead of myself, is underneath this pocket is another little secret compartment. It's got a little bit of Velcro, and what's in here is a nice little attached rain fly. Now you can remove it. It is Velcro attached, so if you wanted to just gain some more utility out of that sucker, or save some weight, I suppose you could just do that. Take that out. Let's close this thing up to kind of just give you a full look at what this thing looks like. You know, say you're out in the field and you have your most expensive and prized camera in this bag, and you wanted to give it an extra layer of protection. This has a little rain fly. So you just pop the sucker off, put it on there, ta-da, and it just fits on there nicely. Protect all your gear with an extra layer. And you know, and when you're done, take it all off, shake it dry, ball it up, and reinsert, and it's as if it never happened. So that is another standout outdoor feature. None of my other bags have an attached rain fly that comes with it. You can get them and stow them in the side pocket or something, but this one just includes it, which is, again, full feature. And for, I think on their website it's 190 bucks, but you can get it from B&H, some other places for 150 bucks, which I think is just a really great price for something like this. Now, again, let's talk about the top before we get into the bottom. Now, like I said earlier, nice and easy stretch opening, and then, you know, we're about halfway up this bag for this packing cube. So what do I have in here? I have a garage built gear pouch. I have another GPP one from Triple Out Design. You know me, I love these things. This has got a phone gimbal. And then this is the Nomadic Peter McKinnon packing cube, which is really awesome for a ton of organization. And you can put a lot of things in there. And I've decked this thing out. But in terms of perfect thing for the perfect space, that one was the best. You could fit a shadow pocket. It's about the same size. I tried the Step 22, too big. I tried the Evergoods Cap 2. Also, just didn't really fit. So before we get into the main part, let's set these things aside. Got some other things we'll put in there. There is 2 drop-in pockets, which, you know, if you want to put your phone on the inside, you can put it there, and it would be fit perfect. That's the max. Fits in just above the little back panel that's included. Maybe put your AirPods, that kind of thing. It's an additional little key loop, which is cool. Now, a drop-in pocket secures some more, maybe passport cash if you're traveling, or some other small little things that you really didn't want to expose to the elements. So yeah, super nice. Similar to other designs, and it will be really hard to show you, but this floor that separates this compartment from the lower is on a Velcro little layer. So if you just wanted to use this bag top to bottom, take out the packing cube, take out that layer, and you have access to the whole thing, which is a nice little feature. They didn't have to do that, but they did. And I think that's a nice little added element of flexibility for those that are going to use this bag differently. Maybe you sometimes want to use this as a camera bag, other times you don't, and so you'd rather take that out. Now, this camera cube that is included is really nice, and because as it's installed, it's essentially part of the bag. So you open it up, you're in the main compartment, grab your camera when you're done, put it back, and we'll show you the inside of that because you can customize it however you wanted. But it's really cool. Now, what you're also getting is access to little camera slots, so little cards that you extra cards you put right in there, and that's about it. The opening flap fits into this nice little sleeve. It's also Velcroed, so it's just going to stay in place. Now, if you wanted to get to where you're going and then change things up, or maybe you wanted to expand things, maybe buy another one of these things, this thing just comes out. So you take it out of that little flap, and we are off to the races. Now this compartment, again, you can put other stuff in here, super cool. There's really nothing else to speak of inside that compartment. So we'll just set this thing aside and dive into this smallish camera cube, right? So this is it compared to Fuji. And of course it opens up from the front. So you can see sort of how this thing is laid out. Now, totally customizable, put your lenses in here, of course not a ton, but for me, I'm just gonna jam this camera in here. I could put maybe a teleconverter or some other little pieces, maybe a charging thing in here for when I get to my destination. Just lots of space, right? Now, what's also cool is you could totally deck this out a different way. Take out the Velcro, put in your favorite drone. This is the Mini. And you could just put that in there and it fits nice and snug. Now, you could probably jam this thing in there, probably not putting the controller in there, probably putting that up top. But in terms of quick and easy access, grab and go in the drone, there you go. Now, back to this camera mode. That's how I'll use this sucker. A little bit lower. Yeah, perfect. So this thing, when it's out of the bag, is useful in a couple different modes. So we'll zip it up. Now, what's also included, of course you can just, carry that. Nice little loops. You can attach it to one side of the bag that way, which is really cool. This little Velcro strap, what is it for? Well, this is for if you just wanted to unlock this thing and just use it from the top. This prevents the zippers from going full open on you, because now you can just kind of carry this thing a couple different ways, because they also include this little bundle of things that are just very, very functional. Now, the whole case can be clipped onto the front of the bag, onto the shoulder straps, then routed down below. And now you have this nice little area for your phone. So put your iPhone in there. Here's the Max. Nice little stretchy pocket to keep things on the front and attached to the front of the bag. I mean, they just include all this stuff. So there you go. Route that onto your shoulder straps. And now you have your phone in front, which is just a nice little thing, which, you know, didn't have to include that, but it's also another way to carry all this stuff. Now this thing will, you can use these little attachment straps, loop them through on the sides, and then you can just carry it padded, clip it into here. Now you have your camera bag, right? In fact, or you can take these and attach them to your camera itself, one end to the sides. Of course, I took off the little key rings, but you could attach this to your camera, and then you clip it in here. So this thing is triple duty, right? Holds the camera cube with you if you ditched your bag just for, you know, walking around the boat. And then you can attach it to your camera because you attach the other end of the loops to your camera. So, I mean, dude, just all of the capabilities. This is for, I think, to attach to, where is it? I lost it. Did I drop it? Nope. You can attach it to this. Now you have another way to carry things. Actually, that's not for that. Oh yeah, it is. Loop through here. Now you can just crossbody just your phone. So you have just a ton of flexibility with this thing in terms of carrying the gear on multiple levels. Carry it all the way to your destination, then out maybe a light hike on the trail, and then just the camera as you just walk around. So I just think they really thought through all of the camera specific accessories for the PhotoSport, and it is really, really feature rich. So this really just has everything in the right spot for when you're out on the field, and once you learn where everything is, to just be totally organized. But it is a little different, right? I mean, it is 15 liters, but just looks a ton different than, you know, a standard bullet ruck, which is also 15 liters. So 15 liters, probably more like 10 to 12. Either way, super cool in terms of taking just your stuff. So there you go. So there you go. That's what I think of the PhotoSport from LOWEPRO. Fantastic entrance into this 15-liter capacity backpack that, you know, maybe you don't want to use a bullet ruck for whatever reason because you want the camera slot in the side. You want the ability to rip out that camera cube and just go solo with that thing. So super nice, super cool. I just wish that hip belt was removable and reattachable, because, you know, I can remove it, but it's not going back on there. So anyway, hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Got a range of things coming out from brands you have heard of and maybe not heard of, but either way, hope to see you in the next one. We're gonna enjoy the morning. It's nice out here if I don't trip.